Welcome, guys, to another Relax and Paint. I'm going to use some fun paint today. It is super thick. It's folk art acrylic, super thick, and it also has a um, tintable paint too, which is it's a medium actually, and you use your other regular acrylic paint. So we carry some extra ones of these. And many of you bought the complete set of, I think it's like 14 or so paints. And so what I want you to do is have more opportunities to paint with it. So I've got a cute little canvas here and we're going to be busy painting it today. And so what I want you to know is that if you have not subscribed, please subscribe and ring the bell so that you know every time I'm doing a live. Lots of times I'll do them late at night or I will do it on Saturday, and it's just that extra benefit of following my channel. So I appreciate you guys doing that. And let's get started. All right, so I'm just checking out the size. It's an 8 by 10. It was like, I'm not sure what size I've got here. So to do this wisteria, I want to have a pretty background first. And so I'm going to use, let me check out the colors. They're a little bit different than I'm used to. This is deep blue. All right. And then this is periwinkle, which I really like periwinkle too. I could come in here and pick up some and just put it on a plate like this and work with those. And I'm not a super fan of palette knives because I like what I get with a paintbrush, so it's up to you. I'm covering these a little bit to make sure the air doesn't get in, and so they don't freeze shut on you. I like to put a little bit of saran wrap so that these edges don't dry up on you and make it hard for you to open. Okay, so we've got those there. And that's the first thing I want to work with. So it's like tube acrylic, but it's in these 4 ounce containers. Okay, and it makes it easy for you to get into it also to work with it. All right, so I can take, let me see, I can take a little bit of a palette knife and move it if I want to. And then I can show you what I also like to do. Because sometimes I don't want it super thick because I want to keep painting. All right, so here's some darker blue and up in the tops. And I know we have scrapers, um, or you can use a room key or whatever to scrape on colors. All right, and then we want a little bit up here. So we're just putting the background on. Okay, and when I get through, I'm going to do the edges, but right now I'm just going to kind of avoid the edges because I don't want to get it all over my surface here. All right, so I'm going to just tip it up a little bit so you can see. Now I want to keep grabbing this white, okay? So what I'm doing is I'm going to do the blue. What was the light blue? Periwinkle. The periwinkle and the deep blue. Okay. Little canvases, there's lots of places or easels to put a little canvas, so I love doing them. And a lot of you have been loving seeing my birds on it. Okay, so I want to see brush strokes. And I like to do that rather than doing the palette knife. Slip, slap, slip, slap, okay? And you can put a little, this had a little bit of purple in this area. Okay, let's go around these edges. See, there's a curve on this canvas that I haven't seen before right there. So it's an edge that goes right there. Okay, now we're going to put our wisteria leaves all over this part. So right now I'm just trying to get the background in. And before I go any further, I'm just covering all these edges. And then I'm going to add some white. See, this goes pretty fast. It was a bigger canvas, I'd use a 3/4, but this is a 16 flat. But with this, I want to see little slip slaps. So see the white canvas is showing through there. So what I want to do is right in here, have more white, like the light shining through. So you're looking up through the trees, the wisteria vines, and then I want to see a glow through here of sunlight. Okay. And you're just getting a lighter and lighter blue with a white glow. Now I can, after I'm all done painting, come in here after all the wisteria and all, and just add some more white in here. As it dries up, you might feel like you need more. Okay. Now, right in here, we're going in between periwinkle and deep blue. Okay. Oh, and here. And I'm not pushing down too hard. I'm just getting a real feather light stroke. A little bit more. Okay. Remember I said we can put some white on there later. I am going to go ahead and blow dry this just a little bit. And I can do this with the heat pen. Mostly up here where I'm going to stroke. You keep this heat pen moving. It's like a heat gun, but it's just focused right here. I use it for glassware a lot. Okay, if I'm doing multiple canvases, this is something that I would let it kind of sit and dry. But I do have some of this paint I could be adding a little bit while the top's drying more. Okay, you can do that, or you can just start. Okay, now the first thing I want to do is I want to come in here and put some greenery in here. All right, and putting the branches in here is going to help you. I'm using, let's just use a 12 flat. I'm using a 12 flat, and I'm going to pick up a little bit of the green with the deep blue, just to make it a little bit darker. All right, so I'm going to come up here. We have some that comes down here, but got branches that go up here. Just a little bit that flows down here. Like we have some long wisteria, a little bit up here. So look, we're going to have a long one here, a couple short ones, one right in there, and a wisteria that hangs there. All right. So that's just for placement. So now what we're going to do is we're going to use light green, and that green is called leafy green, and we have mint green. All right, so we want to put some some of the purple and the deep blue. All right, so I still have some deep blue right here. All right, so I'm going to go back to the 10. All right, so what's going to happen is a few of these places, we're going to come right down here and tap the corner. We can grab some purple along the way. A little bit of the blue. All right, we're gonna put some light lavender coming down there. And we just need some dark in some of these areas. Thick paint, we want to see all that heavy texture. And right in here, there's some heavy texture. All right, and then down in here. And a little bit that goes over the corner here. All right, now I'm also going to pick up some dioxazine purple. All right, so this is a cool thing. You can just add a little bit of this to it along with the thick paint. And that's just going to give blend in with the paint and give you some rich colors. So look, I can come in here. That's just that dark purple, dioxazine purple. All right, so see just a really rich purple color. And then up in here is the same thing. All right. A little bit down up in here. This is underneath. This is the darkest part. All right. So it's important to get just some of the purple in there. All right, so I'm going to want each time I'm going to kind of wash that out and then just pick up the fresh color. Like we're going to come right in here with this light purple color. It just says it's purple. Oops, water. All right. Oh, so here's some white. Okay. Okay, just keep picking up white. A little bit more white. All right. Okay, so we're going to put a little bits of the purple with white. Little bits of that light color, little bits of that light color, and where the green's going to go. Real thick, pretty color in there. Become a little bit more in here. There we go. All right, so see, we just put a little bit of light purple in there. Okay, after we do this, we're gonna grab some greens, which is gonna make everything pop. Let's come over here with some white. Okay. A little bit more white as we go down. So you're gonna pull in some strokes in here. All right. So we're gonna put all the pretty greens and stuff in there, but now this is where, like if I want a little bit more white as it starts drying, and I like to use some floating medium sometimes to work this in. You can also use this tinable gel. To make it just kind of smooth out. See, it's more of a glow there. And then down in here a little bit. Let's put some gel in here. It also gives you more texture. Okay. A little bit so that light in there makes a difference, guys. All right, so let me put this on here. I can come in here. Let's get some neon purple. Because some of this I want to really stand out. Now that's like real loose. So let's put some of the gel in here, tenable medium. So what this will do, see how it makes it thick? So I want you to see that I can bring it all in here. Tap it in. And the cool thing is it's clear, so it does not change the color, but it makes it thick. So any of those bright pinks or neons will work like that for you. Okay. So what I need is, to me, this color isn't popping really pretty. So I can come in here and make a difference by putting some really pretty neon in here a little bit. Okay, so look at this. This is going to come down with the green. All right, just little bits with some green in there. And so we then just add some neon to there. It's neon purple. Put some over here. See, I'm hitting one side of it and leaving some of the darker colors on the other side. Put some of this purple up in there so when we put the green in there, it'll look good. Okay, so let's take some white. So we're picking up, flattening the brush with the whites. All right. See, I'm just continue to do some strokes on this. All right. Now we can add some green in here. All right, so I'm going to close these and I'm going to work on some greens. And there is some blue that comes in and some of the green, but pretty much everything else is coming from being on top of wet paint. All right, so I'm going to come in here. You move it so it doesn't bubble up the paint, especially when it's so thick. I'm mostly worried about up here where the green's going to go. All right, so these are the two greens and a little bit of maybe white, we'll see. But there's a little bit of blues in here. Um, hmm, let's get started and see what happens. All right, so first of all, I like darker. I'm going to put a little bit of purple with this darker green. This is leafy green. So I make it a little bit darker to be leaves. So a little bit of how these leaves look as they're coming down. All right. Right in here where it's going to be on some of that blue. See, it picks up some of the wet blue, which is fine. All right, so we're putting the dark green underneath first. All right, so we're going to come right in here and we're just going to touch the tips of the leaves. All right, so like tip, tip, tip. All right, and then in here, there's a little bit just on the top, right here, picking up some of the purple. All right, so those are just the dark colors. Can you see? I can take some of it over the edge for when I put color there. All right, so now one thing that happens is I'm going to get some light mint and I'm going to put just little bits of some green in here. See the little bits of green. Little teeny bits of that in there. I don't know that y'all can even see that. But with this mint, let's just get a smaller brush. And let's just pick up mint. So we're going to push this down, but yet still have pressure on it. So we're going to put it right into here. A little bit lighter mint there. Put some light mint in here. All right, put some little bit of, look in here. Put mint in here. So we just keep adding little bits of that mint color. So it's kind of fun. It doesn't take much time to put just a little bit of these leaves. But I think we need a little bit of citrus because the mint didn't do us quite as much as I wanted to. So we put, oop, that was a lot of citrus. I didn't need that much citrus, but with a little bit of white here. Okay, a little bit of white with citrus gives us a little bit of brighter color because the mint's kind of not as bright as I wanted. So by putting it on there, it's already got some texture. See, that just adds a little bit. So it's not yellow. It's kind of a citrusy color. A little bits here and there. Okay. So you get lots of texture. You're getting um, a little bit of this darker with citrus. This is the purple and the citrus. Violet, I mean, dioxazine purple with a little citrus. I'm going to put a few of the little branches in here. But if we have that citrus kind of falling behind, it gives it. Oh, so citrus and dioxazine purple. So when I bring that citrus over the purple, it gives you some nice looks. So this is just to play around. Y'all let me know what y'all think. Okay. Add a little bit of citrus to this so it comes alive a little bit. And when I take a picture, it should be better. So what do you think? Just playing around. Any kind of texture like that makes it look like an oil painting. Is kind of fun. So, and I thought it was going to be a lot lighter and everything's a little bit darker than I thought. But you guys try it. I think you'll like it. But one of my favorite things to do is to come to a regular painting that I've already done. I can tell that this needs the green. So let's get some green right here and come in here. A little bit of green. So one of my fun things to do, guys, is you can come picking up these different greens and you can add texture. And so when you're looking at it, you're going to have all this different texture in here, along with the other of the flat painting. A little bit of, put heavier texture down here, super thick. You can mix it, like I said, with acrylics. And I can do this one back here. All right, so that brought that kind of alive pretty quick. I'm going to bring this right along here and get a darker, oops, 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 oops. Okay, so let me tell you how to take off something you don't like. All right, so I'm going to wash this out of my brush. With the wet brush, I can come right along here and take some of that off. Like if the thick is didn't lay out as nice as you want, like right here, you just wet the brush and go back over it, okay? Go back and forth. All right. Now I can also come in here and add texture right in here. Now let's put some white. All right, so I'm going to come in here, and after you paint it with the regular acrylics, I can put this super thick in here. It just adds dimension to your painting. Because whatever I add, it's going to stay that way. Okay, so I can also pick up a little bit of the green. And it gives you the illusion of thicker paint in there when you're all done. So look at the difference. All right. So I can come right in here. So I have a wet brush. All right, so I can come along here, clean my brush, and take away right in here. Wet brush, take away right in the middle. Okay. Now let's get a little bit more white. Now, however I leave this on glass, metal, canvas, however I leave this, it's going to stay like that. Let's see how thick that is. How long does it take to dry? That's what most people ask me. It depends on how thick you make it. All right. The thicker, a little bit longer it'll take, but usually this is dry by tomorrow. All right, so let's see, was there no yellow? There is yellow. Okay. Okay, so this is a painting I already had, right? So I want you to see that I can now come in here and tap this extra thick. And I think it needs a little bit of white in it. Okay, so let's wipe that yellow. Then we grab white. You keep wiping it off so that when you come in here, there we go. Okay. And we can do the same thing here. Wipe it, pick up the white. All right. So see how that really adds to it? It changes the whole picture there. So that's like a perfect way. What I did before is I used it for all the background and everything. And this is my favorite way because all of this just stands out so much more. And I can come in here with like a 16 and grab the green and just add a whole bunch more on here. Or just add more green. All right. And every bit of that. See, I have the faded background. You see that color in the background? Purposely, I made that real faint, and it has a little bit of purple in it. So look what happens here. See how I can add the white in there? Okay. Okay. So I'll see you next time. Don't forget to be here Friday. All right. Thank you guys.